Fries are in the bag, boys. I lost everything. My wife did just leave me as well. It's over, and I never should have attacked Asmongold. I never should have said anything about him. I should have attacked his arguments, not him. And that loser Tectone, I should have never, ever, ever talked to that guy. That was a big mistake. Let's have a little chat. I gain nothing from making this video, really. It's actually a lose-lose situation in almost every situation. Content creation on drama is an infinite money glitch. Because if I respond to the drama, I lose. If I don't respond to the drama, I lose. And whoever makes the last video, for the most part, wins. Because they can provide context that wasn't there, or they can break down and dismantle arguments that maybe weren't even being made. It's a very tough situation to be. I most likely don't win, no matter what I say or no matter what I do. I can't convince you, and I won't ever change your opinion. The heels are dug in, and I get that. If I attack your favorite content creator, and I call him a slime ball or whatever it is, and mentally ill, whatever it is, I understand the want to attack me and all that stuff. And so I'll at least explain my thought process a little here. And I will attack the arguments a little bit more head on instead of being an emotional cuck. I understand that there's nuance to these things and people want to argue their points, and it is what it is. But my official take on it is when I read this is a very inflammatory comment that is, in my opinion, either rage bait or ignorant or just straight up rude and doesn't need to be said. And that is kind of one of the overarching things here is with content creation. I'm going to bring up the notepad one more time here. I think that most big creators have something wrong with their brain, me included, because there's kind of two faces to this. If you're a multi-millionaire and you don't like doing what you're doing, then you have the freedom to stop. And that is actually one of the things I will discuss later on in the video about YouTube is I am set for life. I don't want to play certain games. I'm having trouble making games, so I just have stopped. I make a video here and there, and I'm lost. I have this thing in my brain that has been like, I don't know what to do now. And we'll get more into that later. But then there's the other side of it where if you look at other huge streamers, I will throw in other names, XQC, Asmongold, even Tectone. These people that are set for life. And I'm not saying XQC or Asmongold or Tectone does it worse or better or whatever it is, but unless you get joy out of making people rage, then it makes my brain question, well, what's the point of it? Like what do you gain from saying something like this or from these things? This whole thing, and I'm talking from both sides. What does Hassan have gaining from these things? Like, no one on Twitch is solving anything, bro. No one on Twitch is becoming a politician. No one is changing policy. It is all performative to make money. Everyone is getting farmed. I'm one of them. There is going to be multiple videos made on this. They're going to make some money off it. I am feeding into the system here. It is an infinite money glitch, and I know that's why people do it. And even if the data backs up some of these things, again, it's not like these are going to Congress. These are not going to the politicians and actually changing anything. It's just riling people up. And that's not a world that I want to be in. I'm too soft for that. I don't know if I put it in here, but like, I don't want to actually be a drama channel to cover the news. I'm too soft for that. I cry during The Lion King. You know, ever since I had kids, I'm a baby. Let's just be blunt. I don't mind. I'll call myself a baby. But I will also say, with content like this, and with videos like the one I'm making, context also matters, and context is a really tough thing to nail down and not be obstructed. So
they are
in this clip, it might be a little bit too quiet. I don't know why it's so quiet, but Hassan, who, come on guys, I'm not defending Hassan here. I'm like, please, for the love of God, don't make this a Hassan versus Asmongold type thing, because that's not what this is about. But Hassan makes a comment here about the genetic inferior and socioeconomic factors being a cope.
They are.
And Asmongold says they are, right after. Some people instantly watch that clip and they say, yo, Asmongold is calling all people that are black genetically inferior. And there's multiple comments that are saying this. There's multiple people saying he should be banned instantly. And that's the tough thing because, once again, with pausing and context and, if someone makes a video clarifying things later, it really confuddles this whole thing. Asmongold could very much be agreeing with that statement, but it's more likely that he's agreeing with the socioeconomic statement because he says it right after. But you can't ever fully know what's going on in someone's brain. And that's the crazy part about all of these political YouTubers is they can also go, what did I mean in that moment? This one, and try to pivot. And you know, he even comes out and says, like, that's not what I was talking about. Sorry, I had to find the tweet, but he says, I was referring to the socioeconomic conditions, not the acquisition that it was genetically inferior. And right, like, there's his stance on it. That's how he feels. And if he does the same thing and he tweets about what he truly meant by this, or he talks about this in stream or in the video debunking my video and adds more context, then it just makes me look bad in the initial video, because it's like, well, that's not what he said. You took his words out of context. So I get all of that. And that is the really tough thing to navigate in all of this is it's very hard to win. You can't win. And I will never win. I don't plan to win. But I will just clarify my statement is I just personally think shit like this sucks. I think it is super inflammatory and like it just seems like the world is going further and further and further down this way. And I understand viewing me as like a white knight or someone who is virtue signaling. And I get that. I get it. After my video, brothers, I understand, you know, my ego or whatever getting in the way and making it look like I'm good, they're bad. For sure. So I can admit to that. I see where you're coming from. But I will I'm not going to steer away from that stance. I think stuff like this is just like so cringe on all sides. Like all of this talk is not helping anybody. It is not changing anyone. And it might change the way people vote long term. Maybe it impacts that down the road, but the actual streamers, they're not going and fighting for change. They're just fighting and butting heads because it is an infinite money glitch. And they can farm each other endlessly. No matter what, they could just keep making videos. And, you know, I respond, I lose. Because if I talk about this stuff, I'm a cuck, I'm a beta. You took them out of context. If I respond again, I lose because then they make another video on it. If I'm quiet, I'm a little bitch. I'm a little bitch that didn't defend himself, right? It's impossible. And people dig in their heels. You can't really change them. So I get all of that. But there's also a bit of misinformation out there. And there's revisionist history in a lot of things that have happened in the past, especially coming from Tectone, because he really likes to do this. And I will compliment the guy. He's incredibly good at revisionist theory, at changing how the shit played. And I want to give a few examples of this. And here's the thing is, I'm not going to do an hour-long debunk. I am not going to deep dive into every conversation, and I don't care if he defends each point and he brings up a clip. I just don't actually care. But I'm going to tell you what I see and what I saw for 5 years play out. And, you know, if you haven't been swayed by any of this stuff before, you never will. And that's okay. Like, I'm not your audience. He is your audience. Like, I just don't give a fuck. And I know it's hard to believe. So all big creators have something going on in their brain. ADHD, narcissism, there's something that allows them to get to where they are and keep doing what they're doing. I have ADHD. It has allowed me to be an absolute superhero. I can work for 15 hours straight, make 2 videos. When I am motivated and highly motivated, I could do unbelievable amounts of work and make an immense amount of content that most people can't do. And then, you know, as I've gotten older and now that I've got kids and everything, it's harder to do that. I can't keep up with the content cycle that I used to do. But I was a content creator far, 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 far before Genshin Impact. I was a content creator for like 7 years before that and succeeding on Genshin Impact. And so where is this? So this is like in June. Okay, so this is in June and this is me covering Destiny. And playing some other games, and I'm making $400, $500, $600, $700 a day. Some days I'm making like $1,000 a day or $1,500 a day. And Genshin Impact was so much larger than anything I'd ever covered before. And I made a lot of money. I made a lot of money, and I got a lot of subscribers and a lot of followers. And I think that's one of the things that kind of locked my channel into where it is. And for me, As someone that does have a struggling channel right now, there's multiple factors for that. As I said earlier, when you are set for life, or you're a multi-millionaire, you can either keep doing what you're doing because you love it, or you get some joy in it, or you just want more money, or you can look for more freedom and spend more time with your family and your kids and your wife and things like that. And it's so funny when I end up making a video, there's a 3-month gap, I make a video, and then people like Tectone come out and it's like, oh, I thought you're spending time with your wife. It's like, brother, it's so easy to dunk on someone whose channel is floundering or going down. And I know as a content creator that I have, unfortunately, not built a good brand for me. In fact, for most of the content that I made back in the day, like if we go back and look at all of my content and we go back all the way like back in the day here, a lot of these are like old Destiny videos, and I didn't even use my face in a lot of videos. I make guides, and I covered shooter games, I covered Monster Hunter, but I've made videos for a long time, years and years and years. These are back in 2015, 2014, some of these. And I didn't do a good job building up this brand as much as other content creators have. And I've also jumped games from time to time. Some of my friends like Dado have always played Destiny. They've never left the game. Absolutely killed it in that game. I just can't do it. And so when you swap games, that's not really good. I'm not going to get into all the theory of it, but that doesn't help. But I also know that as soon as I jump on a game that I'm actually engaged in, I will succeed. Unfortunately, the same thing keeps happening, is I jump on a game like Marathon that I end up not loving. And even though I got okay views, this game wasn't that popular. So I know some of it is that. But I also know that some of it is just, I'm a week or two into it. Some people are loving it, and I'm already starting to see the flaws. And I think that this is a me issue. This is a me and my brain not working issue. And part of that brain not working issue is actually from something else. And I want to talk about that. My grandfather's death. So after a lot of the Genshin Impact success happened, I was rolling in it. I was, making like 2 mil, 3 mil a year from sponsorships and from my videos. In that, do I have that up still? I might have closed it. In that one screenshot, in like 2 months, 3 months, I made 300 grand or 200 grand or whatever the number is. It's a lot, 250. And I was also getting sponsorships on top of that. And my grandfather, unfortunately, died of cancer. And he went very quick. Week 1 of like finding out to week 3 or 4, he had passed. And when we were talking, we had this beautiful conversation, and, he was just talking about the family, and you take care of your family, and we were losing him, and he wanted to have some consoling and some feeling like it's going to be okay. And I told him finally, and I showed him, like, Grandpa, I'm like a multi-millionaire. Like, we're chilling. Like, you don't have to worry. I will take care of our family. Like, it's okay. And call me a softie if I cry again. But he told me, Michael, I'm so proud of you, but I want you to remember that at the end of the day, you're not going to want more money. You're going to want more time. And I think that it changed my brain. I actually think it changed my brain chemistry and how I think about life. I think you hit a point in life where money isn't everything and it isn't as important. And if it is always important, I think that says more about you than it does about me. And when I talked to a financial advisor and we talked about the money and we talked about the reality of the money that I had earned, when I was building content, I was making a good income for years playing Destiny. And if you look, like, let's just go SPY, and we just look at the state of something like the SPY. So I started content creation like around here, all right? And my costs are pretty low. I bought a small house to get my family into around 2017, but I had like an apartment, didn't have a lot to my name, And right here, when I kind of went full time, is when I started making, $200,000 to $300,000 a year, which at the time was like unbelievable. But my costs each year were like maybe like 25 grand. I think my mortgage was only like $1,400 because it's a small home in Canada. And I invested every penny that I had. And sometimes it went up, and then sometimes there was stuff like the lockdown that was super scary and you lose money. I started gaining money. I lost all my money, but I just kept piling money into the market. And I started going from making $200,000-$300,000 a year to making $200,000 in 3 months. And I started getting sponsorships that were paying me $15,000, $17,000, $25,000 USD. Like 20, 30 sponsors a month. And I'm piling money into the markets here. And so even if you don't take this growth, if you just take this growth here, I've doubled my money. And if you take this growth here, I've 5x'd my money. And if I was to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a year and I lived to be 150 years old, I would still have money. It's because once you hit that point, once you have invested for as long as I have, it's already going on a decade of investing and of compounding and of growth. Even if I take out 5% a year and it keeps growing in the market, like there's a point of no return where the number never goes down. And so even if I spent hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, I will still leave my kids millions of dollars. And that's what people don't really get. And why am I saying this? Why am I talking about this? Because I want to go to the last point, that Tectone was a jealous loser of me from day one. And I want to have a little chat about this. So Tectone was always inflammatory. He always was poking the bear. He was constantly shit-talking me. This is just one example.
Right?
Oh, it's super quiet. I don't know why. He's saying, "Newsflash for you, kid. Klee's not bad. You're bad." 2 hours after I posted my review of this character, and he just instantly backpacks off of it and tries to dunk on me. And I had some very successful Genshin Impact videos. In fact, let me just bring up one, just to conceptualize this. If we look at my most viewed videos, I understand Genshin Impact is cringe. That's why I don't want to play it anymore. I don't like it. But I got a lot of views from Genshin Impact, okay? On this tips video, this video made like $32,000. So at this moment in time, at the very start of the game, I'm posting a video. Every video is getting millions and millions of views. And Tectone was so tilted. He would repeatedly talk about these videos. This how to do 10 more damage. He reviewed this video, roasted me the entire time. He would do it on streams repeatedly. And eventually, I ended up calling him out. And I ended up calling him out because he just wouldn't stop. So this is a video where I called him out because he would constantly shit talk me. And at the time, I was a bigger streamer. And if we get into all that stuff, I was a huge streamer for Genshin Impact, and I had the most viewers for a long time until I called the game out. And the second that I did, all my viewers went away. And then it came out later that the Hoyoverse was viewbotting the directory. So I probably lost a bunch of my viewership because of viewbots. And I have never viewbotted in my entire life. And that's probably one of the reasons why I got screwed so much lately as well. I don't stream very much at all, and I don't want to ever cheat. And so, my career is definitely floundering, where someone like Tectone has risen. And at this moment in time, I was a much bigger content creator. But I extend the olive branch multiple times, even though during this conversation, he is coming into this, and I am kind of talking to him saying, I don't want this bullshit between us anymore, but also I talked to him about other creators. And I'm not going to go through this whole hour-long video, but he talks about Jinx and Tuna, he talks about, I think, some Matt Jesta guy, Damone Kim. He keeps saying, I've never besmirched anyone. And then he besmirches someone. He says it like 5 times. I never besmirch anyone. I never talk ill will, but, enviosity, but. He talks about all these people that some of them quit YouTube, whether it's his doing or not. That's up for debate. But in a lot of cases, he just keeps saying during this, oh, I would never shit talk anyone. But he did. And I want you to listen to, this is Tectone. All right. This is the real guy here.
But I do want to let you know, because I'm not sure if you watch my stream or not. Do you watch my stream?
Every day. I'm a mega fan.
Okay, so then have you seen the streams where I constantly praise you and defend you?
I constantly praise you and defend you. Hold on. Let's keep going. Do you know what? That's the thing is, no. Because people are only going to share the shit, right? Exactly. Clip after clip after clip of this guy shit-talking me, but I was still willing to talk to him.
Yeah.
They're only going to share the shit.
So there's a Twitch VOD from literally days ago.
Right.
Where multiple other content creators were attempting to throw slight shade.
Right.
And I was talking...
Which is true. There is, at the time, everyone was making comments about me. Being this random normie that came from Destiny playing gacha games, didn't know anything. Why is he getting 7 million views on his videos? I completely understand it.
About how I think you are the smartest professional businessman in all of Genshin Impact.
I am the smartest, most professional businessman in all of Genshin Impact. I've always been kind of a business guy. And I understand that calling out these people is just not worth it in any way. In almost any way. But for some reason, there's a voice in the back of my brain that also goes, fuck these guys. Not even as much Asmongold. Fuck Tectone. This guy has been the biggest piece of shit for the entirety that I covered Genshin Impact. Always has, always will be. But there's revisionist history of how all this went down, what happened in the future, and none of you will ever believe it, because if you didn't believe it by now, I will never convince you. But it's so crazy to see how fucking insane this dude was, and he just like is still chugging along. So he's saying, people were shit talking to me, I defended you, and I want you to look at something.
I bring a lot of joy to this community. And I've done that.
I bring a lot of joy to this community, he says. And I kind of laugh because I can't believe that after seeing all the clips of this guy dunking on me, I'm just like, dude. And this is where the whole history gets befuddled and confused. A lot of people think that this moment was where Tectone and I became friends, and he uses that against me. And I get it, because we had a big falling out with this other content creator, Hex Juice, which we'll talk about in a minute. We had this big falling out. I was emotional. I was tilted. That's what I do, baby. I get emotional, and I start saying shit. But he made it sound like I'm this schizo. This absolute schizo, and maybe I am. But he makes it sound like, oh, you faked our friendship for all these years? No, not necessarily. We had good moments. We played League of Legends together. You can see if you look at all our DMs, like there's a lot of times where we're talking and chatting and talking about, you know, building our channels and different things. He invites me to play games many times, and I brush it off many times because I'm just a busy dad. You can actually see it. Hey, you want to play this game? I'm at hockey with my kids. Hey, you want to do this? I'm away. Like, you know, I wasn't super close with the guy by my own admission because I was always busy doing shit. And, you know, I think there was a lot of time where he tried to be friends and we tried to be friends. I will be completely open with that. However, so this is a moment of him admitting, like, yeah, I dunked on you.
Is that I remember, I'm not gonna cap, way back in the day, I definitely 100% gave you unironically shit for your times 10 damage video, 100%.
Okay. He also talks about other creators, and, you know, again, I just don't give a shit. I'm not going through an hour of this footage. If you want to go do it, I will make this public. You can go listen to it. But he talks about other creators multiple times, and I kind of keep going like, but does that need to be said? Does it need to be done? And during this first kind of 30 minutes, I am actively realizing this dude is never going to change. He's always going to shit talk people. He is always going to trash talk other people's content, and he's just like unapologetic about it. And even though that's the case, I agree during this video, like, let's be amicable about things, but I even extend an olive branch to the guy. And at one point here, we talk about money a little bit. 100 grand. So I made 100 grand, I said, this month. You're going to be that fucking underwater. Like think of the, like, 21 million views was about $100,000. So you're telling, and what I'm talking to him about here is if you're swearing in your videos and you're getting no revenue and you're not taking sponsorships and stuff, like, you're just leaving so much money on the table by swearing so much. And I'm talking on the business side of it. Now, listen to his reaction.
Wait, Canadian, right? Wait, Canadian, right?
Yeah.
And wait, and off just YouTube?
Yeah.
We need to talk later.
He can't he can't fail. You made $100,000 in 1 month? Oh yeah, well, how much? Here, no, you want to know the craziest thing?
I didn't make anywhere near that amount.
Well, because you swear too much. You swear too much. But he's made millions since then. Like, don't get it twisted. He has made absolute millions. He's made more money than me. Did he invest his money as smart as I did? I have no idea. But he's probably made well more than me. His average viewership stayed up higher than me on Twitch. He did the whole OTK. Like, don't get it twisted. I'm not going to pretend I made more money than him. It's nothing about that. But when we ever first talked, I was already a millionaire. I was a millionaire by like 27, right? And so I extend the olive branch here. I talk about...
Okay,
I did talk with him. Well, I talked with him about the sponsorships. I even, at some point in here, a little bit later on...
Like, I can't
about
do
sponsorships.
Content for things that I don't believe in.
Right, and that's fair.
And yeah, like, I've probably passed well over $100,000, $200,000 worth of Raid Shadow Legends sponsorship because I hate that game so much.
Yes, it's funny. He dunks on Raid Shadow Legends as I'm doing a Raid Shadow Legends sponsor. Am I a sellout? Call me what you want. It is what it is, boys. I made some money off gaming and villainize me for it. Please don't victimize me. But I talked to him about sponsorships and how there's so much money being left on the table he doesn't even realize it. And I even put him in contact with a management team. That was my original managers back when they were AFK creators and eventually went on to form Mythic Talent. He was a very good networking person, incredibly good networking person. It seemed like everyone was friends with a guy or starting to collab with him. He was doing podcasts, and he uses that to paint me as this outsider that no one collabed with. I'm this weirdo that no one likes. I'm a schizo. But my big question is, or was everyone just scared of him? Because anytime someone stepped out of line or tried to hit back, he pulverized them. He's very good at doing it. And he's able to bully the shit out of people and scare them away, and they will never make a follow-up video like this because there's nothing to gain from this. I just instantly lose. The minute I made this video, I lost. And he's going to make another video, maybe even two, because I've seen it time and time again. In fact, I winked in this video. Because time and time again, Tectone has friends, they're doing podcasts, they're climbing together, and the second things start to fall apart, the second things go a little astray, he throws them to the side, he shit talks them endlessly, he makes them cry potentially. There's so many things that this guy does, and I dunked on him. I say dunk and then you guys call me out on it. I made a wink in this video. I literally wink about a friendship falling apart because it had already happened 10 times. Tectone had been friends with someone, they got in a fight, they hate each other, they've always hated each other, it was never a friendship to begin with. Like, all this drama comes out again and again and again, and I wink about it. And he didn't make one video, he made like 2 videos, he did a multiple streams. It was 10 hours of schizo content trying to dunk on me and trying to say that I am the bad guy and I ruined his life and I've always been evil and I made this person Hex Juice quit YouTube, which we'll talk about in a second, and all these different things. He says, you made Enviosity quit YouTube. Guys, the video that I made about Enviosity was, I understand that Mint Picker is like not, it's, if you get called Mint Picker, it's not the end of the world. You gotta have thicker skin. But at the same time, Tectone repeatedly saying, Enviosity, you're a Mint Picker, Mint Picker, Mint Picker. And me doing this now, he's gonna try to twist my words there and be like, oh, see, it's your fault. He's just a fucking inflammatory dick. He's just a bully. And some people can't handle it. Some people can't take that bullying or roll with the punches. And he's caused enemies and people to hate him because he's an asshole. And he said that because I brought up the min picking thing, I'm the reason Enviosity quit. I'm the reason everyone called him like he twists and changes it, and he just revises and omits things. And it's like, dude, over and over and over again, communities have talked out about Tectone saying he's a piece of shit. And you know, if you ask people in the Destiny community, I'm sure you could find people that say that about me. Every content creator is going to have haters. Just look at the comment section of my videos in the recent days. Dude, you're going to have more haters than people that like you, especially with my dead channel. But let's get back onto point here. It's a repeated pattern. It's a repeated pattern that communities dislike him and he moves away from it. It's a repeated pattern that he has friends that all of a sudden aren't friends. It's a repeated pattern that he joins OTK and then half the people in OTK, he hates them. Or, you know, like, you know, I don't know all the drama there. And I'm not even going to talk on that as he now twists my words and says, shut the fuck up. I'm just saying that it seems to be a pretty big pattern. And as someone that was dealing with this guy for years and years at this point, in the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, holy shit, this guy is seems to be the problem. If every room smells like shit, when you walk into the room, check your shoe. And there was other dramas. There was like the Atsu drama and Braxophone drama. There was all sorts of dramas, and I talked about these different things. And again, I'm not going to go through hours and hours and hours and hours of footage. But when these dramas happened, I didn't instantly side with Tectone, and I heard out what some of the other content creators were thinking and saying, and I knew that there was a shift right then with Tectone, and he thought, fuck, I don't have MTash under my boot. I don't have MTash in my corner. He is not going to defend me like some of my other little minions will. And the amount of content creators that are in his orbit that would shit talk me and talk trash, there was a bunch of them. But one of the ones that gets the most talk is this person, Hexjuice. And Hexjuice has now quit YouTube. And the history on this is now MTash is the reason that I quit. MTash is the reason that she quit. It is all MTash's fault. And, you know, I didn't, after this big falling out, what ended up happening was Tectone and Hexjuice got into a massive argument on stream. She was like crying. She DMs me and is in my stream because I was kind of reacting to it like, what the fuck is going on? I thought they were friends. And she's talking to me and I was kind of just like, why is this happening again? Why is this person getting into a fight with their friend to the point that she's tearing up again? It just seems weird. And you can call me a white knight, but yes, it was a bit of a breaking point. I'm like, why the fuck does this keep happening? What is wrong? And I watched the stream. I reacted to it. We ended up getting into a massive, massive fight. But here's the thing. People are saying like, oh, you're a white knight. You defended this Hexjuice person. The only interactions I had with Hexjuice initially was her trying to roast me. And even in her document that she released after the fight, after there was this big falling out and this moment where she jumps in the call and kind of ambushes me and acts like a snake, I make the comment, whatever Stockholm Syndrome friendship you want to have is up to you. Something along the lines of that. And it's so fucking funny because that's exactly what it fucking was. Tectone, he called me out, he called me schizo, he called me crazy, he called me a white knight, I ruined this person's career. She then comes out and makes a document. And now here's the thing, is it says, the harassment from the other creator's audience was vicious and Tectone didn't really have my back. This is a reference to me. The first interaction I ever had with Hexjuice was her calling me stupid. Was her making a 20-minute long video calling me dumb. And so I was not nice to her. I had no fucking reason to be nice to her. But then, here's the best part. We talked, and I was like, you know what? Yes, I dunked on you. I wasn't nice talking about you because you weren't nice talking about me. It is what it is. But we kind of squashed it. She then made a 45-minute long video. Maybe it was 55-minute long video talking about how fucking cool and nice I am. But it's deleted. You can't see it anymore. It's a fucking biography on why I was so inspiring and such a cool, nice father and dude. But as soon as this drama happens, it's gone, right? It's deleted, and it's so easy to paint the picture of like, oh, and Tash is a fucking white knight schizo. And so she then goes on to say, my own naive loyalty to a friend, aka Tectone, all of this stuff starts to talk about this. Feeling pressured to side with him. Feeling like, yeah, some of the manipulation tactics are very obvious in this friendship. Even talking about the stuff that happened with Pinky Chew. And, you know, Enviosity threw a jab towards Tectone about his marriage. And it fucking enraged him. It enraged him so bad. A clip of him being borderline verbally abusive to his wife. And then the story came out, well, technically she was cheating. That's why I was so angry. And then it turned into, actually, he told Pinky Chew that was the story, and she defended him, and that kind of went viral, but that wasn't the fucking case. And at this moment in time, I don't know what the truth is. So I'm not going to touch on it fully. I'm just trying to tell you why these things are going around and why there is this like up in the air thing, because there's a lot of people that have a lot of opinions on his relationships, and I don't know the full story. What I do know is some of this change from Tectone being the beanie guy that's overweight to who he is now. He has made changes to his fitness. Good for you. I think he looks better. Good for you, techie. You don't look so fucking pathetic anymore. But the thing that hasn't changed along all of this stuff is he is a piece of shit. And he always fucking will be. And I don't care if you take his side or mine. That is why I'm making this video. Because it's just the facts, it's just the truth. And you can call me a piece of shit for so many reasons. Whether you say, oh, MTash, you promoted gacha and gambling to kids. Well, I also critiqued all the monetization. I went free to play, and I never spent money again in the game. But Tectone did. Tectone spent tons of money. Dude, he lived like the same life beside me. And when he starts making these videos about me, here's the funniest part is when he started making these videos. I think he does it in this one. I think he did it in some of the recent ones. He's always trying to be like, oh, and guess what? I'm also going to have kids and get married too, because you wish you were me, Tectone. And he twists it like, fucking MTash wishes he was me. I would never want to be you, you fucking loser. And I don't give a shit if you believe me. You're so embarrassing, it's crazy. And I'm not scared of you, and I'm not scared of your audience. Because at the end of the day, my channel's dead anyways. What do I gotta lose? And so, you know, there isn't a ton more to say with this. But I personally think that at this moment in time, I'm just gonna leave this video up. You guys can watch it, you can dunk on it, have your fun. But at the end of the day, I am going to just most likely move on, and I might even just cover Genshin Impact. I think my channel is so cooked, I might just make videos and then make a completely other channel. I don't even know what it'll be on, or I might just milk the Genshin stuff and not make a channel and just fucking retire, because I don't need more money. Believe it or not, just because your content creator keeps making content that's like, you know, it's like you trying to pay for legal fees or what's going on here. You know, I am very comfortable where I'm at, and I could do other stuff. And I don't think that this will change anyone's opinion, because there's so much evidence out there. There's so many videos out there talking about Tectone and what a piece of shit he is. And it just doesn't matter. And that's fine. It's all good. But I just wanted to give my final hurrah here, because I didn't even talk about this stuff when the Hex Juice stuff happened. I just shut my mouth because I know I can't win. It's impossible to win. It's such a interesting position to be in, where it could be used as an infinite money glitch. If he makes a video and then I critique it and say, no, okay, that's a lie, he just makes another video and another video and another. You can't win unless you're the last video. And because I don't care enough to keep posting, they will always have the last video. So have a good one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later when I decide to post more content and when the channel pops off again, because whenever a game comes out that I actually love and actually make content for, I'll get views. I know it will. I'm in a rut. A lot of it's self-inflicted, and you know, I respect the hate comments. I get why they're there. At the end of the day, I'm not going in on Asmongold. I'm not gonna roast that guy endlessly. I'm not even gonna fucking mention Tectone again after this video, because I just don't want. I didn't want to after the Hexju stuff. I didn't want to talk about him ever, but he just won't shut his fucking mouth because he's actually like schizo narcissist. Like he's so jealous of me, and I know that his blood is fucking boiling watching this. That's the best part, is he thinks that that's what happens to me. And it's just like the reality that these people live in is so different from everyone else. And that, I guess, maybe I'll segue one last time, is like, these multimillionaire streamers are riling up a lot of people on topics that I understand are something that they want to talk about, they're passionate about, but like Hassan, Asmongold, SUC, Tectone, me, no fucking content creator that has succeeded is even living in the same world. They're not living with the same struggles, and you know, they're just grifting to make videos and to make money on these topics. They're talking about these things with no skin in the game. They can retire. They could have retired years ago. They have no skin in the game on housing prices because they already own their houses. They already have millions in investments. They don't give a fuck what happens, but they keep making the content and they keep talking about these things. And you know, when one of them steps up and actually, you know, runs for Congress, runs for a local mayor, actually tries to make change in their neighborhood, that's when I'll actually respect, you know, kind of what they're saying. And you could say the exact same thing about me, because we're all mentally ill hypocrites. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.